Now, live from Ernie's Cut Rate Liquor Store, shooting range, candle shop, bowling alley, massage parlor, it's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Happy day. Welcome back.
How about that?
Number 20.
Number 20.
Number 20.
It's show 20.
Show 20.
We have not been
Showtime.
canceled.
No, we're still making it. The only way we know how. Hey, and picked up 6 subscribers on YouTube.
We did.
From the previous. Thank you, America. Thank you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Only 989 more to go.
Right.
But thank you. We more than doubled. So how about that? So
We did. And, you know, by the way, since we're talking about that, you can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Overcast, and all that other crap.
All the cast.
If it's a cast, we're on it. Although Amazon Music is a little funny because, like, we can put an episode out like today, right? And Amazon Music on Thursday of next week will say, "Hey, there's a new episode of Dave and Doc." Well, there has been for a week, but whatever.
Wonder if they scrub it or something just to make sure it's not like.
I'm not sure. Maybe Bezos listens to it first. Maybe that's what's going on.
I mean, the man doesn't sleep, so I mean, you know,
apparently
he just works out,
yeah,
has fun, and edits all this stuff. I guess.
I don't know.
But we forgot to introduce ourselves.
Well, I'm getting there, but we were talking about YouTube, so I wanted to just say, and you can see us on YouTube.
That's right.
I don't know why you'd want to look at us, but it's odd that we're getting a ton of views on YouTube.
I'm digging it.
And if the subscriber thing keeps happening, that would be great too. But
I think it's pretty awesome. Like I said,
listen,
more than doubled.
I mean, 2 goof nuts that start a podcast and people are actually interested enough to watch them. Okie doke.
Was that a cereal back in the day? Goof Nuts.
It
was grape. It was grape nuts.
Grape nuts.
Grape nuts.
Goof nuts.
Goof nuts.
Who's nuts? Goof nuts.
These nuts. No.
These nuts.
Have you seen that the peanut commercial where it's the
Yes.
My brother-in-law sent me that, and he was just cackling. He's like, "This is terrible."
But before we forget,
Anyway,
I'm Dave,
and I'm Doc.
That's why we call the podcast Dave and Doc.
That's exactly right. And we're in punchy moods today.
We really are.
The allergies are kicked in, and so we're just doing a disclaimer after the dad jokes. Beware. I'm just saying it because we got some stuff to talk about today. So.
Yeah,
children disclaimer. Okay?
You know what's funny is we should do like a Dave and Doc behind the scenes, and like let everybody listen to our conversation right before we start recording because that's probably the funniest conversation because we're talking about the stuff we're going to talk about and we're just laughing about it. So
it's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Hey, also to the website DaveandDoc.com, DaveAndDoc.com. Go there. That's all I got.
It's the best place.
It is. It's everything's there.
Because everything is there. You know, you can watch the YouTube videos. Yeah. You can go get to pretty much any platform if you want to listen to. Mm-hmm. You know, you get a little bit of backstory about us, and you get the preview there of what the episode's about.
Right.
You know, thank you very much for all your hard work and editing on all those things.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Took a couple of hours. That's about it.
It would have taken me like till Thursday, and then Amazon would have been like, "Hey, here's next Thursday from the episode 2 weeks ago."
And we also have a ranking on the website now of the best porn sites out there. So it's from,
oh dear,
yeah, it's top 5 porn sites. So
you
have to go to the website. You have to really dig around to find it. So
it's like an Easter egg.
It is.
God. And on that note, let's roll on.
There's really
here.
not a
so big day today, man. Having your nuggets. You
nuggets.
Man, his second birthday party. Now he turned 2. Was that Wednesday or Thursday? What day?
One day.
One of them days.
One of those days.
So, but officially 2 with legs like tree trunks.
Yeah.
Quite strong like bull.
He is very strong.
But I thought since we're having the birthday party,
you
know, and thanks for inviting us. Appreciate that. We're going to be very happy to be here.
Yes, you guys got invited?
We did.
Let me go.
Your wife, and you know. So Lindsay and Laura, they got this thing. I think.
I guess.
So it all works out. But I've got some dad themed.
Yeah.
Or birthday themed.
Dad.
Yeah.
Now, so Landon's got some jokes too.
Sudafed. So do you want to do the Landon jokes?
Yeah. So
okay.
What do you want? This is your segment of the show.
I would say let's.
I defer to you.
Landon likes to show me up. But I think these are pretty good birthday themed dad jokes. We might actually go 3 for 3 for the first time in history.
Oh, wow. You'll
with
get
the thumbs up,
laughs?
thumbs down. Yes. I think we might get 3 serious laughs. So let's do Landon's.
Okay.
And then we'll get into mine.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'm ready.
Okay.
And I know he's smack talking me.
He's not as bad this time.
Okay, it's not. Oh, okay.
So, So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my kid. It's Landon. Here you
Boom.
What did the hat say to the? What did one hat say to the other hat?
What did one hat say to the other hat? I don't know.
Stay here. I'm going on ahead.
Good Lord.
Goodness gracious.
I actually like that one. I like that
All
one.
right, buddy. What else you got?
You know, I really don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
That really did sound like a dad joke. That was 100%
That was the
dad.
truth.
Yeah,
Truth.
that really
Truth.
did.
All right, go ahead.
What's the best thing about Switzerland?
What's that?
I don't know. The flag is a big plus.
Hey-o!
I kind of like that one. Okay.
Okay.
I like
I
that.
kinda
I
like
like
that
that one.
Doc's gonna love this one.
Okay.
Trust me. You're gonna love this one. Where do boats go when they're sick?
Where do boats go when they're sick? I think I know where this is going, but go ahead.
The dock.
Goodness gracious. Well, we got one more.
Yep.
One more. Here we go. The big finale.
This is my favorite one.
Okay.
What do you call a poor Santa Claus?
What do you call a poor Santa Claus?
Saint Nicholas.
Dang.
Right?
I want to say one more thing before we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Everyone that's listening, you've been a great support to this podcast. And just like it says in the intro, it's one of the world famous podcasts. Not the world famous.
What do you mean great support? We're dying over here. They got to send some money. Listen, if you're listening, send some money. Landon
What is this
says
going to be a
send money.
donation now?
Yes.
Potential
Landon
sponsors,
says send
right?
money.
Yes, you better send
What's
money.
happening? Landon, I appreciate it, buddy.
Half of that money goes to me. Got it? Half
Sure.
of that money goes to me.
He's
That's fine
mercenary.
with me. As long as
No.
they just send some in.
What?
Thank you. You guys been a great support.
All right,
Thank you
buddy.
for your time.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, there you go.
Now,
So,
how's he get half?
he's a good negotiator. He slipped that right in,
Man.
right?
Man. We don't have that in writing, though. We're okay.
Well, so here's how that would work, though, right? You would get half. You would actually get 50%. I would get 25% because he's going to get the other 25%.
Ooh, sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Look
Yeah.
at you being generous.
Yeah, well,
That's
listen,
awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
He can have some of the money that comes into the show, which is a big fat nothing. Thanks, everybody.
A love offering, right?
Right? Can we pass a plate around? Is that how? Do you think we could call the area churches and have a second offering every Sunday, and have like our own little bowl?
So it's kind of like repairing things. You know, you can repair anything. You can call anyone and make a request.
That's right.
But when they listen to it and they're like, on that episode 20 now, y'all said a disclaimer after the dad jokes that you may not want to listen because y'all are feeling punchy. We just can't support that. So we can call them. I don't think it's going to pay
I don't
off.
think so either. No, I don't think so either.
I like those. Those were pretty good. Yeah, those are pretty good. I like that.
The Switzerland thing kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't expect that one.
He does some good research. I like it.
I guess.
So here we go. So we're going to try to go 3 out of 3.
All right,
This
I'm
has
ready.
never happened in the history of this with a legit Dave man laugh. Okay. All right. So
right.
these are birthday themed dad jokes.
You're really setting these things up. I'm just,
I like them.
Okay.
I
All
like
right.
'em.
I'm ready.
What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
What did the pirate say on his 80th birthday?
I'm 80. That was legit. Yes. 1 for 1. Yes. Yes. Okay. Why does the mushroom always get a birthday party invite?
Why does the mushroom always get? I'm not sure.
Because he's a fungi. Yes, we got the side lean. When the side lean doesn't happen in America, that means it's not legit.
Is that what it is?
So
is that my tail?
I'm
my tail?
I'm feeling
Okay.
2 for 2. Okay, this is the last one.
All right.
There were some better ones, but we always usually have a healthcare themed one. All right. The patient says, "Doctor, I get heartburn every time I eat birthday cake."
Yeah.
Doctor says, Well, next time, take off the candles. He didn't even hit the button.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yes.
I'll give you an extra one. There you go.
Yes. 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 I think we might have gone 3 for 3.
You know what? I think we did. Those were good.
And the additional one, this doesn't count. But how do pickles celebrate their birthdays?
I hate pickles, but how do they celebrate that?
They relish the moment.
Oh gosh.
See, I didn't pick that one because I knew that wasn't going.
Well, I hate pickles. I mean, there is nothing on earth I hate worse than pickles.
Do you like cucumbers?
No. You know, you're my physician.
I know.
I don't eat any of that stuff.
You really
but
don't like pickles?
I don't even listen. This is how bad it is. Okay, I won't open a jar for somebody. I won't touch them. If I go somewhere and get a sandwich, after I have to wait
I know.
an hour and a half,
Right. At a certain sub shop.
yeah, at a certain
in Maryville.
sub shop,
no pickles.
After 6 hours of me waiting for the sandwich, if there's a pickle if it's wrapped up in aluminum foil, that's one thing. But if it's just on the plate and it's touched the sandwich, I'm not eating the sandwich. It's done. No. Nope. I can't take it. I do not like pickles.
Very interesting. Did you have a bad experience with a pickle? It's going bad. Yep.
I did.
Disclaimer. Woo!
I did not have a bad experience with
Okay.
a pickle, but a joke did come to mind. But no, I did not have a bad experience with a pickle.
Okay. We didn't choke.
No.
We didn't. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it was nothing like that at all.
You didn't like fall in a vat of brine at some point and just come out smelling all vinegary.
I do that anyway. I like to
Good for
swim
the
around.
skin. You like the burn.
That and
Keeps
whatever
the-
the glaze from
keeps-
Krispy
keeps
Kreme
the-
is. I like to swim in both of those just to float around.
It's very erotic, right?
That glaze at Krispy Kreme is like liquid crack. Let me tell you something right now.
I mean, it really isn't. I mean, the way that whole system works, I mean, that's pretty cool, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yet they still have like 6 people working in there. And I'm like, I don't understand. All of this is automated. Y'all could have really, I don't know. They're just generous, I think. But
I
they
guess.
could probably save on the overhead. They could probably cut at least 2 people.
They probably. I mean, you could probably get a couple of teenagers just to box up donuts.
Truth. I mean, and that may be why they have that, because on days obviously when it's super busy, you got one person working the drive-through, one person or 2 people working the checkout, the cash register in the front of inside the store, and somebody else has got to box them. I guess.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
I've never went to the Krispy Kreme drive-through.
Are you serious?
No, I've went in, but my favorite one was in Bristol. I think it was on the Tennessee side when I lived in Virginia. Oh. It was right in this little corner, and I loved it. It was the same guy that worked there from the time I was like 12 years old to the time I was an adult.
He knew how to do it.
Oh, he knew what he was doing, and he would always give me a free one. Always got a free one. Oh yeah, I'd get a dozen donuts, and he'd wrap another one up for me, and he was like, "Thanks, buddy."
Are you serious?
Nice guy. Yeah, nice guy.
Of course, I mean, it costs 2 pennies
Maybe if that
to
much.
make that.
Yeah.
So they're not hurting.
No.
That's awesome.
Hey.
Wonder where he is now.
He did.
Did he go to the big donut in the sky?
He looked like he had consumed some donuts over the years. So I'm guessing the heart stopped at some point in time. But what a way to go!
Hopefully it
Full of
happened
glaze.
like full of glaze.
We did an autopsy. Your blood was 80% glaze. I think his name was Keith. I'm not sure.
It wasn't Pauly Shore.
No, it wasn't Polly.
Pauly Shore on Spring Break once said, "If you give me the donuts, I'm going to glaze them."
Yeah.
So bad. So bad. Anyway, you're actually going to make a legit point because
What?
yes, we had. Yes, you. I don't know. You were getting ready to say something. You were trying to segue.
Oh, no,
and
no.
I got my ADD kicked in.
No,
Pauly Shore came to mind over.
So no, I did have a question when we were joking about calling a church and taking up an offering. I do have a question about most churches have like a similar plate, right? It's usually a little velvet lined gold plate, right, or something along those lines.
Pre-COVID, yes.
Yeah, pre-COVID.
Now they have like the envelopes in the box, like where you can just kind of discreetly drop it off.
Right, they just have the Venmo
Yeah.
address up on the screen or something, and you can just send them the money.
Right. Seriously.
Really, I mean, that's what they're doing.
Online. You can do it
Yeah.
online. We went to a church one time. They had like a little. It looked like a Crown Royal
Bag.
bag
Yeah.
with 2 handles on each side,
Interesting.
and that's what they passed around at the
How about
different-
that?
That was kind of interesting.
Was it a Crown Royal bag? Because that would be awesome.
I don't think
I'm
it was a
just-
Crown Royal
I'm
bag,
just
but
saying.
that's what it made me think of.
But so my question is, where do you get that stuff? Is there like a church supply store? Because
Well, I'm sure there is.
I mean, like churches, there's things that all
it's on
churches have.
Amazon. I'm sure you can buy anything off Amazon.
Probably. I just want like where. I mean,
Here, let's just keep going. I'm going to look that up real quick while you're talking.
these are the things that come to mind when I'm going through my day. Sometimes is where do all churches kind of get the same thing? Like it's just it's like, robes for the choir. Like, is it robes.com, churchrobes.com, baptistchurchrobes.com? Is there like a
church offering plates?
How about that? Or the velvet line?
Now they have metal. They have wood. There's the old school walnut.
Yeah,
with the red velvet. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, the red velvet, just like the cake.
You can make 6 easy payments of $14.31.
How much? My God, these things are expensive. It's
$78.
I mean, you could go to Walmart.
But it's
and just
like
get a bowl.
But it.
I mean, you could. It's just.
Oh,
I guess that's the funny thing. Like, why does it have to be so formal, though? I mean, why does it? I've never understood. Like, why do we have? But if I was going to start a church tomorrow, and I'm not. But if I was going to start
you're not going to plant a church?
No.
You're not feeling it?
I'm not. I don't think so.
I understand.
I might start a cult, but it's not a church. That's a whole different episode. But like that's what I would do though. I would get the bowl. I'd get the bowl with the velvet. I'd get a velvet bowl. Jimmy, get me 2 velvet bowls. We're going to start a church. But like the pews and everything. Like I mean it's stuff that like you just don't I don't go to that ridiculous furniture store that can't get our table right and look for pews.
Right.
So I mean, like, where do you get all that stuff? These are
Amazon now.
It's like doctor's office supplies, right? Like, there's just things that doctor's offices have, and it's like, is there a supply store for that? Oh my gosh.
Church pew, man.
Of course.
I'm just saying. We have, there are multiple suppliers that we use like for our stuff.
How about that?
Yeah. And you just have to, you just have to have your contract worked out with, with what you order from him and stuff. Yeah.
Because I mean, there's
Henry Schein and McKesson and all these, and you just try to find good prices. And then when things are on back order, you're really just searching, trying to make sure you keep all the stuff that
like the bed in the doctor's in each exam room or whatever that's called. Is it called an exam table?
It's called an exam table.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. Looks like a bed. It's a very uncomfortable bed. Particularly at your office, they're awful. Like they're just not comfortable. That's why I'm always sitting in the chair when you come in.
Well, that's why I tell people, I'm like, just sit in the chair till we. Yeah, but those are very similar to most other doctors' offices.
Yeah, they're all the same.
And when I first got there, the step, it was a metal step.
Yeah.
And so we got the plastic step. So that's a little bit safer because
Yeah.
if you slip and you hit metal, things go boom and scrape and scratch.
A doctor's office.
True, and we can stitch you up. Yes, we can. But yes, we can. But no, we and I don't remember where we ordered the tables from, but I got some new tables.
Also, the computer in the cabinet under the sink, that's got to change. That's ridiculous.
So it's better now. We have the hard drive. It's actually on the back of the screen.
Oh, so the computer's on the back of the screen now. Okay, so it's mounted.
Yeah, we mounted
Use
it.
a Visa mount.
We upgraded. Yes, that was.
There you go. Yeah.
That was another positive. I was like, oh, this is good.
Maybe one day I'll come and be the director of IT.
I mean, there you go.
And fix some stuff.
There you go. Come on with it.
I'd have to have a budget, though.
They'll give you a budget.
Yeah.
Spend no money. Doctors are historically frugal.
Yeah, they are.
That's actually probably our biggest. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. But definitely top 3 expenses is IT.
Oh, it always is.
It is.
It's a cost center.
It may be the most. It is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always just go back to paper records and stuff.
Sometimes there's benefits, but not much because in the computer world, everything's on the. I'm not having to carry this chart around, and if the chart falls apart,
right,
you are in trouble. You know what I mean?
Or somebody's chart just gets too big because they have too many issues.
Yes. Yes. And if you lose something, it's lost. Yeah.
Leprosy and okay. Have you ever treated a patient with leprosy?
I have not. No.
There was an episode of House where somebody had pretty leprosy.
Pretty leprosy.
Yeah, and I looked it up, and that's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's leprosy without the
all
the crap.
the ulcerations and everything.
Yeah. Ulcer. Look at you. I was going to call them those big red bumps, but
Well, you call them big red bumps. That's fun too. Yes.
I don't have the terminology yet.
We did have a patient in my training in Memphis that had a leishmaniasis, which is not quite leprosy, but had like these sores and mental status change, and they had been bitten by a sandfly over in Iraq.
Oh,
and they actually ended up dying.
Oh gosh,
it was just the mental stuff's what really caused more problems. But anyway, but that was kind of crazy. A veteran, it was a veteran,
Wow,
and just one of those unfortunate. Didn't realize what had happened, because it didn't develop like instantaneously.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I still remember in school learning about the African sleeping sickness from the tsetse fly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the tsetse fly.
The tsetse fly.
The tsetse fly.
Mm-hmm. Or tsetse. Tsetse. Yeah. That's it. The Zika virus, all those other things. There's a lot of lot of bad stuff. There's a lot of bad stuff, man. A lot of bad stuff.
There is. But I'll tell you some weird stuff that I came across.
I'm ready for some weird
this
stuff
week.
because I just, again, disclaimer, because this is okay. So what's up?
So someone that I know was in court this week, and they weren't in trouble or anything, nothing like that. They never found the bodies, but they were in court, and
you must prove beyond the
right.
shadow of a reasonable doubt.
So if they don't find a body, you can't get convicted. That's what it says on CSI or no Criminal Minds. I don't like CSI. Those show, there's like 19 of them.
Who are you?
Yeah, and they love the Who for some reason,
right? Baba O'Reilly. And
Baba O'Reilly. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. Where was that? Oh, so we're court. So, and so one of the people there sent me a text. It was a picture, and they were offering free popcorn to the people waiting, to go into the courtroom. Free popcorn. Who eats popcorn at court? Why is that? Why would of all the things you could hand out to people, right? Like, I mean, you're going to have a nice little dinner party at your house, and people are coming over, and it's like, oh, do you have some finger foods? I do. There's 9 bowls of popcorn.
Take me out to the courthouse. Take me out to the jail. Buy me some popcorn
And
some meth, you see.
I bet you
People don't understand why I'm so angry.
I
what
bet
in
you.
the
Right? So
they had
people
popcorn.
They had popcorn. It was the machine, right? Like the machine that pops it, like you would see at a carnival or something, and you get your little bag, right? There's a little bag, and you fill it up with popcorn
for free.
Free popcorn.
Well, sorry, it's not free.
It's not free.
The taxpayers
we
are funding the popcorn
right.
habit.
And they had like 2 people working the popcorn booth.
Was one of them the muscle? The other was the hustle.
That's right. I mean, it was the weirdest thing. I mean,
you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to steal that popcorn maker, trying to go get out of the courthouse, and trying to go buy the drugs with it. That's what's going to happen.
I bet the judge loves it too.
They
right?
better.
The judge. Everybody's coming in, and all you hear is
There's some cold popcorn. Look at.
I can see the judge right now going, all right, if I hear one more person with a popcorn bag.
Well, right. What if like,
Right.
what if you're like trying to, right? I mean, you're like trying to eat and like you get,
right? It's like stuck in your.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know. It's prison
Hold
popcorn.
him in contempt. He's choking on the popcorn kernel. You can't get it out.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. There is a popcorn kernel.
Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it on purpose and try to sue the city.
Probably.
That seems like
I got burned on the popcorn.
Prison popcorn,
Prison popcorn.
jail bait. Here's your popcorn.
I just thought it was weird. Like, why would of all the things you could offer, popcorn just is not something that would come to mind for me anyway. I mean, I very few times have I been in a courthouse to begin with, but yeah, and one of them was
What's funny about that is you said very few times, not I've never been in a courthouse before.
Well, it's funny because
what
I historically drive very slow.
I mean, your prostitution ring. I mean,
Well, I'm good at masking myself up. Like people.
I I got you.
I wear stilts and everything, so no one would ever think it was me. It's like, oh, that guy was 6'2". Well, that's not Dave. So I did get a speeding ticket in a small town, and so I decided to go to court just because. Actually, the cop actually said, hey man, listen, I had to write you up, but if you just come to court, we'll figure something out, right? So I'm like, okay.
He actually said that?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that's what
I
he
think
said.
my speeding tickets, they were like, well, you can go to the driving school.
Yeah.
Or you can get this put on your insurance. And I was like, I'm going to go to the school because I can't afford my insurance rate to go up anyway because I'm a young dude.
Right. And insurance is terrible.
And it's terrible for young dude drivers because we get speeding tickets. I'm like, this is just justifying why my rate is high.
Right.
Anyway.
But so I went to court and it was fun. Like it was fun to sit there and listen to all the other cases and I thought it was fun. It was interesting.
You were people watching.
I was. And like there was this one state trooper, this was in Virginia, who had written, I want to say 6 or 7 people up for having their bright lights on, their high beams on.
Oh boy.
And after like the third one, the judge like brought him over to the side, said something to the cop and like went back and he's like, who else is here for that? And like people stood up and he goes, be careful when you turn your high beams on. It's dismissed. Go. Oh yeah. And the state trooper was like, I guess I'm just gonna go now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude,
Talk to the judge.
it's like really, you're
The judge just spoke.
yeah, you're here for a whole day,
and you just wrote him up for high beam.
And
lights.
the first guy, like, I mean, they all showed up too. And the first kid, I mean, he was a kid. He was like 17, but he was, I mean, very well spoken. He's like, it was a stormy night, and he's like, we're coming up over a hill, and he's like, and you can't see lights until you get to the top of the hill. And he's like, I had my brights on because I couldn't see. And the judge goes, that seems extremely reasonable to me. And he goes, I thought so, Your Honor, but
but not this man.
And so then it was like, and I knew the part of town that was in. I'm like, why would a state trooper be on that road? Why would? So anyway, the whole thing.
Trying to find somebody to give him a ticket.
I guess, So anyway,
That's probably what happened.
but all my experiences with the police have been very pleasant. I've never had a bad experience with a police officer.
Nobody ever said,
No.
Dave, man, step out of the car.
I got pulled over once for rolling through a stop sign like I didn't come to a stop. It was 2 in the morning.
California style.
It was 2 in the morning.
Did they do a field sobriety test?
No, but
Oh.
it was 2 a.m. and it was the town that I grew up
Were
in.
you playing Matchbox 20 for episode 20?
No, I was not. No Matchbox 20.
2 a.m.
Probably Def Leppard if I.
Or was
had
it
to-
3 a.m.? It's 2 a.m.
It was 2 a.m.
Yeah, there. See, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure. You were playing Def Leppard.
I was playing Def Leppard, and so I rolled through this. There's no, and this is the little town that I grew up in, right?
Sure. So there's nothing going
There's
on.
nothing, and I'd done something. I was coming to pick up. I think I was coming to pick up Steven, is what I was doing, my oldest. And so I get to this stop sign. It's one of the very few stop signs in the town, and there's nobody on the road. Like it's crickets, right? Nothing is open. It's the town's shut down. And I slowed down and went through the sign. And here come the town cop. Lights flashing. Woo, woo, woo. I pulled over, and he gets up to the window, and I roll the window down. I'm like, really? I mean, I knew why he pulled me over. And he gets to the window, and he goes, "Hey, Dave." He said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm good, man. How's your brother?" And he's like, "He's good," because I went to school with his brother. And he said, "Hey, man, I pulled you over because, you." I said, "I know why you pulled me over." I rolled through the stop sign. I said, "But, dude, there's nobody coming." He goes, I know, but, he said, "If I'd known it was you, I would have just let you go." And I would have. I'm like, "Oh."
So you were just trying to profile, and then it backfired on you.
He said, we do get people coming through here late at night, have been drinking or whatever.
Sure.
And,
Which you obviously had not
No, I had not.
on that occasion.
On that occasion. At that particular
Didn't
point
smell like
in time.
Waffle House or
No, I didn't.
out
No.
of town crystal.
I'd actually been driving for like 2 hours. I probably looked like I was ready to pass out because I'd been somewhere in West Virginia. But anyway, he let me go there. But yeah, I thought that'd have been a fun ticket to go to court to talk about.
I had this one. I was driving back from Memphis. Well, so I got 2 when I was in med school. Well, no, sorry. I only got 1 actual speeding ticket. The other guy, he ended up giving me a warning because he saw my white coat, and we talked a lot. And anyway, he was very kind, and I was only like 9 over, which was I was a little shocked. Usually they'll give you 10.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I drive under the speed limit. But
Well, I know, but the other one, this was crazy. So we were actually it was just me. It was just me in the car. I guess we were past Lebanon, but we'd not gotten to Milan yet, and so that's somewhere between exit like 240 and 110. And this cop, he like, and there's 5 cars, okay, so he like comes out of nowhere,
Right.
And it's a caravan basically. I mean, yes, we're all speeding,
Right.
Okay, so somehow he pulls 4 out of 5 over.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like, I mean, very aggressively, like beside me, because I had gotten over into the right lane when you see him coming, and I was not the first or the last car.
Right.
The last car ended up like getting a pass somehow, but the other 4, I guess I was second. But he like picks everybody off, and everybody pulled over.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy was just a jerk. I mean, it wasn't anything like inappropriate, but he was just a jerk. And then the best part, I'm like, dude, you know, and I know I'm speeding because we're in a caravan of 5 cars, you know, and I mean, there's other cars not quite matching the speed, but there's
Right.
So it's not like we're, you know, anyway, we're speeding. I get it.
Right.
So then he comes up to my car. So he lets the first 2 cars, he writes their ticket and lets them go.
Yeah.
Okay. Then for some reason, he goes to the front car and writes their ticket, or he has their ticket, and he lets them go. Then he comes to me last. And I guess it was just because he wanted to just delay whatever.
Right.
You know, because he just...
Making sure his pistol's ready. Right.
I guess. Jackass. And so he hands me the ticket and my license.
Yeah.
This is how stupid this guy was. And I wish I'd have had the time to fight this. I looked at him and I said, does that look like me? And it was not me. And he had given the car in front of me, who's now down the road, he'd given them my license. And that person, who looked nothing like me and was not the same gender as me, no confusion.
That's even better.
And the look on this guy's face when he realizes what he's done. And I was just livid, and I said, what are we going to do? And it was like something out of a movie. He goes, come on and follow me. And he jumps in his car, and he turns his lights on. And so now we're both speeding down the interstate.
What you were just cited
and he's
for.
going like 95. And I'm like, I can't believe this SHIT. And I'm behind him, and I've got my flashes on. I'm like, he's probably going to pull some bull crap and give me another ticket, you know. Well, I didn't tell you to follow me at that speed. So he has to pull him over again. Now, of course, they're speeding again. You can tell because we're having trouble catching up to him, okay? We're having trouble.
This is wonderful.
So we catch up to them, and he doesn't give him another ticket, and he didn't let me out of the ticket after all of that.
I mean,
I paid it because I was in school. I was in med school, and I was like, I don't have time to go.
The very least he could have done is say,
he was
"Hey,
like,
man, listen. You know what? I'm ripping this. I'm sorry. Let's just
right,
forget."
After, because I'm like, you put my life kind of a little bit in danger having to follow you. Now, maybe he didn't mean to actually drive. I mean, that's some bad.
That's terrible
crap.
That's just terrible.
And like I said, my ignorant self, you know, and I mean. Literally, I mean, I'm in Memphis. This was, you know, a couple hours away. And like I said, when you're in medical school, and it was in my first year of medical school.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do? Like, I can't leave.
Right.
Because the court date was like during the week, like during the day. And I'm like, I can't do this, you know, and I didn't. So I just paid it. I mean, I remember talking to my dad, and he was like, for the amount of time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That it would, he's like, did you, you know, and of course you can't read the dude's name. And I guess I could have used the ticket number or whatever and said, I want to file a complaint on this guy. But
we should try to get him on the show.
But
how great would that be?
And I support law
100%,
enforcement.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean,
absolutely.
And I know, I mean, it's they're in a really well. And actually, a girl that was in my med school class, her husband was a highway patrolman.
Oh,
he got murdered.
Oh no,
got shot. He pulled over some illegal Hispanics.
Yeah.
and he went to the window, and they had a firearm, and they discharged it and killed him. I mean, that's
it's such
awful.
a dangerous job.
I mean, that's awful. So I mean, so I have a lot of respect. So I don't mean, but I mean, that guy, number one, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah. Right.
Disclaimer. And then you do that, and then you don't even offer. Like, he didn't even apologize. Like, I'll never forget that.
I mean, in every profession in the world, there's just some people that shouldn't be in that profession.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been.
And police officer, I mean, that's one of them.
That guy.
Many.
I mean, yeah, bad.
Do you ever hope he just shows up in your doctor's office one day and ask you to look at his foot or something? I mean, just like
No.
Say, hey.
I'd be like, I looked at it. No, I'm teasing. No,
You wouldn't. You would bend over backwards to help.
I would help him. Right?
Yeah,
You're
for
right.
sure.
I would because my oath says that's what we do.
Yep.
Despite how I'd really feel about him. There's a great line. I think we may have talked. Did we ever talk about this? We don't have to talk about this. So, and I know it's a TV show, but ER.
Yeah.
So in the first episode of ER, John Carter.
Yeah.
Student Dr. Carter at that point, third year med student, and Dr. Mark Green are out in the little ambulance bay outside the ER because John has just gotten sick. I think it was, I don't remember if it was a knife wound or whatever, but anyway, Peter Benton, surgical resident extraordinaire, he kind of makes fun of John, and he's like, that's fine, I didn't need you anyway, because he feels like he's going to be sick.
Yeah.
So he goes outside, and Dr. Green, of course, setting the stage, comes out and checks on him, and they're talking, and he's telling him, just relax. He said, it's okay, you're okay. And he goes, people come in and they're sick and they're dying and they're scared and they want us to help them. And basically it's a great line because he says, and sometimes, you don't feel good. And he's like, but helping them is more important than how we feel. And I was like, ooh, Michael Crichton, look at you. Look at you.
Look at that.
And it's true. I mean, that's what we try to do. So, right. I mean, this guy, I don't like him. He comes in, I'm going to do my very best.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. So anyway, but yeah, that's my only bad, Highway Patrolman story.
Yeah.
And if he'd just been nice and made the mistake, it was just the setup for it's like, you're just being a smart, like, basically I got 4 people in, of different backgrounds in this line of traffic, and I pulled everybody over. Why'd you let the last guy go? I don't know. I'll never know. But then that mess, it was like something out of a movie. It was crazy. Anyway,
it reminds me of the scene in Super Troopers, right? The very when they pull the people over.
So
they continuously pull them over and they're freaking out.
Yes. It's kind of that thing. And like I said, the best part was we're trying to catch them and they're obviously speeding again.
Yeah, right.
That was the fun
and
part.
you're speeding to keep up with the cop.
Yeah. Oh, that's like I said, it was like 95. We were flying.
That's so awesome.
Weaving. I mean, he had his lights on, so people were moving. So I mean, but we had to weave like once. It was crazy. It was just crazy. And then I was sitting there. I was like, and that woman, she didn't even. I guess she did. I guess she was just in shock of what was happening.
Right.
Because I mean, you don't see that very often. You might see him pull 2 people, but no, he literally.
Yeah.
Anyway. And they say they don't have quotas, but
right.
But she didn't even look at the license. I guess she was just so shell shocked.
I guess.
That it just. But yeah, I mean, I'll never forget that. As long as I live. Anyway, America.
So
we can't really segue out.
No,
of
you can't. So I'm chopping and going.
Well, just but a real American.
Yes, a real American here. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this last week. And here's the disclaimer for this.
We ran out of time because we ramble.
We did, and we do, and we did,
and we enjoy it.
I'm a big Peyton Manning fan, and have been.
I can't stand him.
Right. Everybody loves Peyton Manning. Something has to be wrong with you if you don't.
I'd like hug his foot. I'd be like, oh yes, let me.
I mean, here's a guy who was super successful his whole life, right? But he's worked for it, and he
right.
devoted his life to it, and he was he loved
right.
to study film. Even in college, he's studying film. He's trying to get better, And
They said in high school, like his work ethic was there too, because like he'd work out with the team, and then he'd come home at night and he'd work out some more because he wanted to be stronger.
Yeah.
And just be better.
And I mean that so. I'm a big Peyton Manning fan, always,
and super competitive. Locked Brandon Stewart out of the film room.
Oh yeah,
so that he would intentionally be late. That's some bad stuff, right there. That's bad. Bad.
The thing that's always confused me, and it's when we've only lived here in Knoxville for like 10 years, maybe 11 years, something along those lines. Seems longer, But no, I actually really like Knoxville.
Memories.
But so what I don't understand is all the UT fans love Peyton Manning. I get that. But what I didn't understand...
Oh, it's another level of love.
But what I don't understand is then they became, Indianapolis Colts fans. And then Denver Bronco fans. Like they switched teams between two different teams. They stayed in the AFC at least. They switched teams. And
now I like the Denver Broncos when Elway played for them. I will say that. And I mean, when John Elway played the Packers, gets the snot knocked out of him running for the goal line, did a full helicopter. Mm-hmm. I mean, I jumped up out of my seat too when he's pumping his fist. So I did like the Broncos. I've always liked the Broncos, but I really didn't.
I loved them in January of 1990 when they let 55 points get scored on them by Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. Rang the bell 55 times that day. Still a record in the Super Bowl. Joe threw 5 touchdown passes. Not that I'm counting.
That was a little bit of a mismatch.
It was. Everybody was. This is a completely different episode, but I really believe that team, that 49ers team, is one of the 5 best teams ever assembled in the history of football.
I think that's very reasonable to say that.
I've had people argue with me throw like the 96 Packers and all this stuff. I'm like, you're out of your stinking mind. That team was loaded, and like they should have went undefeated that year, and it. Anyway, I could talk about that all day, as you know.
I would love for them and the the 85 Bears. Mm-hmm. I'd love them and the 85 Bears to play.
That would be good. That would be good.
I mean, I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah,
that would be one of those iconic matchups.
It would be.
Yeah. So anyway.
But yeah. So,
but you're right. But you're right. No, literally following.
Here's the thing that's the weirdest about it to me is. There is a professional football team. Maybe this is news to some folks. So if this is a scoop, I'm happy to deliver that. In Nashville, this little stadium that the friendly people from Nissan built.
Didn't it used to be, what was it, LP before that? And then it was something else. It was originally something else.
Is it Nissan now?
Yeah, it's Nissan. You're correct. No, you're correct now. But it was something. I think it was LP.
I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was Earl's Cut Rate Liquor.
Ernie.
Sorry. Ernie and Earl. Ernie and Earl's Cut Rate Liquor Store.
The Quick Sack Stadium. Grab it and growl.
So there is a professional team that's been pretty successful here in the state of Tennessee. True. I grew up in Virginia. We didn't have crap. Nothing. We only had one stop sign. I mean, listen, we had no professional team. And so you were stuck. And we had a lot of Redskins fans. And I'm going to call them the Redskins because that was their name.
Right. That's not meant to.
It's not. I mean, we had Redskins fans and then the Carolina Panthers. That was almost in Richmond, Virginia. Like Virginia bid on that.
I do remember.
And they ended up in Charlotte. So we had some Atlanta Falcons fans, and so but
right, you didn't have
we didn't have
the closest team. I guess was Washington, right?
Yeah, that was 100%,
like easily. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. So you could get like why it was kind of an eclectic mix of football teams. And I move here and it's Broncos fans, but before that they were Colts fans, and there's people that have 2 of those jerseys in their closet.
You're right,
and you're probably one of them.
But no, I got rid of all of my Colts gear.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, there will not be one penny ever spent for Jim Irsay after that BS.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I was not upset when his little pill problem came to light in the public eye, and I was like, "That's right, you SOB." Piece of crap, man.
Peyton
I'm gonna
went
tell you,
back and retired.
I know.
Yeah.
They built a statue for. I get it. And here's the thing. See, go ahead and keep going because this.
So
Big disclaimer, folks.
So I
Big
don't.
disclaimer.
What I don't understand. I understand the love for Peyton Manning,
Yeah,
but when he played for one of the universities in Tennessee, one, not all of them, just one,
the best one.
and okay, it probably I don't know. It probably is. I really actually don't know. Vanderbilt seems to be like a pretty legitimate place. There seems to educate a lot of people there.
They've had some success, yeah.
And they've had some success. But so, and listen, and I get people loving their college team. That's cool. I think that's cool. It's like,
You dang right, it's cool.
I mean, it's just, I get it, and again,
Don't make me Terry Tate you up in this mother.
and again, I mean, I'm not a UT fan, but I'm not from here.
I understand what you're saying.
And so, what's funny is I don't dislike UT. I really don't.
You just don't have a dog in the fight.
I don't have a dog in the fight, and they've made
I do,
some,
and his name is Smokey. Okay.
They've made some really stupid coaching decisions, but so have a lot of other schools
I
too.
was going to say Florida State.
Yeah, right. Both schools had the same problem trying to replace a legend, right? And it's almost impossible.
Well, and kind of pushed Phil out.
Oh, 100%.
But he had kind of burned out too a little bit.
I think so. But what a great recruiter he was.
I'll always go back if we had gone to the national title game in 2002 and won the SEC title which was 2001-2002 season. If we had won the SEC championship, we would have gone to the title game. We would have played Miami.
Yeah.
We might not have beaten Miami, but that would have been 2 national title games in a span of 4 years.
Right.
And that would have punched the ticket.
I think so.
Instead, people saw, you can put this mobile quarterback in here, and Tennessee can't defend that for some reason.
Yeah.
We just a backup at that, and we just fall apart.
Right.
And so and that was the beginning of the downward spiral, really and truly. I mean, we had a couple good seasons here and there, intermixed.
By 2007, though, it was.
But yeah, I mean that was it.
Yeah.
And they fired him, and then Kiffin comes in for a season, and then leaves to go to USC. I don't care how good looking he is or how much weight he's lost.
His ex-wife's gorgeous.
That guy.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that he cheated on because he's
on.
a piece of shit.
Yes.
See, anyway. I don't like him.
Here it comes. This is like me. This is like me talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
No, that guy is. I don't care. He's that anyway. I'm nobody, but that guy's not a good guy.
No,
okay.
I agree.
He was not doing good stuff on the campus.
No,
he was not faithful to his wife. Anyway, sorry, we're done with that. I'm done with that. Let's get off that. So the Titans are there, and the Titans are doing well.
The Titans have always done well.
Here's the problem. Okay,
please explain.
We're going to go way back. Okay.
Okay.
And I can't remember when the Titans moved from Houston to Nashville.
I want to say it was.
I feel like it was when Peyton was at UT.
It was around 97, 98.
So I think I'm
not sure.
I think I gotta look that up because that's gonna bother me if I don't. So
because they made it to the Super Bowl shortly after.
Right. That was the thing. Right. Where I mean, literally, trying to stretch out. We had the Music City Miracle.
Yeah.
Which my buddy Chris Jones, he's a Bills fan.
Yeah.
He hates that.
Yeah.
And it was a legal lateral. That ball was on a rope. Frank Wycheck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a legal play.
Is it Kevin Dyson that reached out and tried to score the touchdown?
Yes, because Kevin Dyson caught the pass from Frank Wycheck on the kick and ran it back for the score. Yes. So let's see. When did Titans move?
You folks talk amongst yourself. Wow.
Right, just a quick vibe. I should have researched that. Should have researched that in '97. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was Peyton's senior year, of course. So all that was happening when he was there. And so, I mean, I think all the hype. See, Tennessee, I do still feel this way. Tennessee is regionalized.
Yeah.
You have West Tennessee, you have Middle Tennessee, and you have East Tennessee.
Right.
And all three are different. I mean, you have the mountains of East Tennessee. this region and things, kind of the more, I guess, scenic part, if
And
you
that's
will.
not uncommon. I mean, like Virginia's the same way.
Middle
Yeah.
Tennessee, a lot of gorgeous country.
Yeah.
But you think more Nashville, kind of the music city, industry and all that stuff. Memphis, right there on the Mississippi River, a lot of history there from, Dizzy Gillespie and the blues and things, and then of course the unfortunate with Martin Luther King. I mean, being shot at the Rainbow Motel, and all those things. A lot of just historic stuff that's happened. So, I think that's part of it, because East Tennessee is East Tennessee, and you're a Vol fan, or you really just root mightily against. But if you have any connection or whatever, you root for the Vols. People didn't really care about the pro team, because that was also when the Vols were so successful.
Right.
I mean, we'd been rolling for a while. I mean, Fulmer came in. And we had success with Johnny Majors too, but Fulmer comes in and we're rolling, and then the very next year we win the national championship, and so people are like, Titans, who cares about that? We got the Vols.
Yeah.
Go Vols,
But then they go to a Super Bowl.
I know, but it didn't matter.
Who does that? I mean,
It didn't matter because we won a national championship. I'm telling you, it's the regionalization, and they didn't really come over here and try to have a strong marketing presence,
But here's here's what's funny.
which I think was a bad idea. I mean, and I think it's because they just like they just like UT. These people over here just like UT. We're not gonna, it wasn't a strong push to get the fan base.
But who does this though? I mean, like I can't think of any other player that everyone has just kind of followed because they just love the guy in college. Like I can't.
I agree.
I can't think of anybody else.
Because he's one of one. Ooh, how you like that?
Look at that.
I've been waiting a long time to do that.
One of one.
Because there's nobody else like him.
I mean,
Because not only do you get an incredible football player who nobody takes it harder than him. Nobody cares more than him. I mean, of course, you hear all the stories about him cussing people out, all these things. And you're like, well, he got a little fired up. But also always doing a lot for whatever community he is in.
oh yeah.
Now, is he perfect? No, he is not.
There's only one quarterback that's perfect.
And there's... I don't know about from the social aspect of things, because I think old famous Joe had about 4 wives or whatever else was going.
I think he only had one wife, but they're
okay. So anyway, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
And so I think it was just that kind of the aw shucks every man mentality. People say he really is just relatable. Like if you run into him and just kind of the prankster, all these things, it's like, yeah, that actually really is who he is.
But
and like the cards that he writes for people all these years, he's done all that stuff. Like when he retired, the Nike commercial, it was like, this, thank you for this, and it was all these notes that he'd written to all these different people throughout their time. And so I think that's just part of it. Because, I mean, without a doubt, I mean, he, say what you will, he didn't win a national championship, but it's really hard to argue that he's not the greatest quarterback that played at the University of Tennessee as a pure quarterback position. And then he goes into the NFL and transcends the game in terms of what the quarterback does. He was the first. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't better people out there and better quarterbacks. That's not what I'm saying. But he was the first that really took it to that next level where it was like, this guy's so cerebral, we can basically let him just manage it all.
Right.
And we'll give him 3 plays and he can do whatever he wants. And so I think just that success, and then just the consistency of, you're going to be a certain way. And I think people just fell in love with him. I mean, it was just such a crucial time, with UT football. And I mean, we hadn't beaten Bama in a long time. He beat him 3 out of 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
Now he never beat Florida, but we beat Florida, so it's not like we, not recently. Well, we did, but anyway, I really, it's just that whole persona of him. And I think UT had never really had that. And I think that was, I think that's what made it so special.
But and I agree with
You're never going to win this argument.
It's not an argument. I mean,
but you're right.
I mean, number one, there's only one team that anyone should like in the NFL. So I mean, that's number one. So it's not even an argument with me. And I absolutely love Peyton Manning. I think he just seems like a really relatable dude.
And I think that's the thing. I think that he came at a very crucial time for the UT fan base, and I mean, Heath Schuler was the quarterback before Peyton Manning got here.
That's right.
And there are articles.
He made the cover of Sports Illustrated, right, and I still remember that.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Discussing. And people said, and I don't remember who did this quote, but I remember John Adams, one of the Knoxville News Central famous sports columnists, he wrote in one of his things, he said, when Peyton Manning arrived on campus, and I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, by the time this guy is through, people will be saying, who was Heath Schuler?
Yeah.
And that was the truth.
Oh, of course it was.
And Heath Schuler was a great athlete, but Peyton Manning was the greatest quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's because he's so relatable and people just fell in love with him. And he's done a great job keeping ties with his school.
It's true.
I mean,
but a lot of other players.
But I don't feel like Tom Brady does.
I mean, he's Brady.
I don't feel like Aaron Rodgers does.
Again, they're two people that are in the same kind of category in my mind.
I don't think Russell Wilson does.
He couldn't figure out which school.
I don't know that Joe Montana does.
Oh, Joe's big on
and I don't know these things. This part of this is my ignorance.
So I mean, I got to drive around. South
Brett Favre can't because he's in deep crap with the state of Mississippi.
I think he came to an agreement there.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
I think he's going to mow their yard.
Are they going to try to pay him?
You get a bale of hay or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's bad anyway. But I think that's part of it too. Just that connection.
But I mean, I'm probably the biggest Florida State fan you're ever going to meet. I mean, I am. I loved Chris Weinke. Chris Weinke was a great quarterback.
He was
a great college quarterback. Won the Heisman. Almost won it twice. Maybe he did win it twice. I think he won.
No, he just won one.
He was nominated.
He got. Yeah. I think wasn't Archie Griffith the last person to win? No, Tim Tebow. Did Tim Tebow win it twice? Did he?
I think Tebow may have won it twice.
I had to look that up.
I know he was in the running.
Archie Griffith may be the last one to win it twice. Anyway, maybe. It's okay. It's okay.
I was a big Chris Weinke fan.
But his game didn't really transform well to the NFL.
It didn't. But that's my point, though. Like, I mean, here's a guy who is. He did it a different way. Like he wasn't a great. First of all, when he graduated, he was like 30 years old. So I mean, he was. He was like
he was older. I do remember that.
And so his NFL career was pretty short. And now he's a coach and he's a great quarterbacks coach and a great offensive mind.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Jameis Winston. Say what you want about his off the field, whatever. I don't care, but a great athlete and led Florida State to a national championship. Neither one of these guys did I follow to the NFL because I didn't care because I'm a 49ers fan. So and again, the 49ers have been there longer than the Titans have been there. I get that.
And again, I think it was a crucial time there where things were happening and I think people were because we didn't have a professional football team. And so it was like, you root for the Falcons or you root for the Panthers or
right.
I rooted for the Broncos. My dad rooted for the Cowboys.
Oh my gosh.
I rooted for the Dolphins because I really like Dan Marino, and and Don Shula.
Was he? Let's see. Did he ever get to
84?
Super Bowl?
Got whooped.
That's it was like Super Bowl.
That was his rookie year.
19.
That was
that's
his
right.
rookie
That's
year.
right. Yeah, he got to a Super
year.
Something. It didn't work out for him.
No. But another great quarterback. So anyway,
another great quarterback.
But one of those things, you didn't have that, and I really think it just carried over because people had 4 years, and Peyton Manning could have gone pro, and what did he do? He made the announcement, "I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee."
Well, he had said early on, he's like, "I plan on being here for 4 years."
Right. But people say that all the time, Dave, and then they bolt.
It's like, I was going to, and then I saw the paycheck. And
Right.
that's it.
And so I think that was the other part, is that was just another example of his loyalty to the University of Tennessee and to the fan base. And so that's people just fell in love with him. And when you're doing well, Tennessee fans will cut their arm off and give it to you if you need something to eat. We could be like, stranded in Antarctica on something. Well, just eat my arm, Peyton. It's okay. Because we're that loyal. Now, if you don't play well, then we're terrible. And that's what that drives me nuts. I'm like, please, we've got to be, you know what I mean?
Be consistent.
But right, please be consistent. But we're consistent. I mean, we'll rip you to shreds, or we'll love you forever. But it's there is a middle ground. There's like, no, support. We need support.
Yeah.
But I think that was just another example of that is the loyalty of the UT fan base to follow him.
I guess. It's foreign to me because I just don't understand.
Right, it's just not.
Because I mean, and again, like a lot, like people in Tennessee, they grew up without a professional football team for a long time. I did as well, and there's still not a professional football team there. Right. And so, I get that, but it's funny how, we're diehard Colts fans. Here's what's foreign to me. Here's the most foreign.
They
part
left him for dead.
They did, but here's the most foreign part.
How's that working out for them?
Well, well, not great.
They're not awful.
They're not awful.
They had some great years with Andrew Luck, but they underachieved with Andrew Luck, and that's all I'm going to say. And then he got his whoop knocked out of him too many times. Yeah. I mean, Von Miller lacerated his kidney.
Yes.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Yes. And he just got beat up. I mean, his style of play again. And he retired because he knew he also knew they were never going to win a Super Bowl because he couldn't stay healthy.
No.
They didn't have the right pieces in place. They're not in the immediate future going to win another Super Bowl. And I hope as long as I am alive, which I hope is a long time, like at least 40 more years, okay, that they never win another Super Bowl. I say that with every bit of seriousness, as serious as I can be. I still root for the Broncos. I'll continue to root for the Broncos. I'm a little bit excited about the Broncos with some Russell Wilson.
I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be interested to see.
I don't think
I'm going to be interested to see. What they're trying to duplicate what they did with Peyton is get a seasoned quarterback and try to take advantage of their young talent.
Yeah.
But there's only one Peyton, man.
We can move on. But here's the most foreign part of all that to me.
You got me. My arms are crossed, my legs crossed, man. My body language is.
Here's the most foreign. Here's the most foreign part.
My man, I'm just telling you.
I don't understand for me, like, there's no way on earth that I could ever not be a 49ers fan at this point in my life. Like, I'm a Niners fan.
I get that.
I'm a Niners fan. And listen, we talk about, teams doing people wrong and stuff. Joseph Montana got booted out of San Francisco, okay? I remember it happening. I still remember I have the Sports Illustrated with his rings that says, Kansas City, here I come. It broke my heart because Joe was my hero. I grew up, Joe was the man, and I loved Steve Young. I'm like, Steve's probably going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the history of football, but Joe left to go to, and I was a Niners fan. I'm still a Niners fan, and they've done some really stupid shit. I mean, they have.
How have those last couple Super Bowls worked out for you?
Well, not the way I wanted them to, and one of them. One of them was because of the quarterback we started.
I'm just gonna show you this.
Oh, listen, I know. Hey, I know. We did win 5 before. Throw that out there. 16, 19, 23, 24, and 29 were all successful. So 5-2 in the Super Bowl.
Not so bad.
Not so bad. But
not so bad.
But I'm still a Niners fan, and I could not fathom. Number one, it would be a big investment because I've already bought all this crap. So what am I going to do with it? Everything in my house is red. My flipping front door is red.
You can see the homage right there.
Oh, you can see it. Yeah. Even it's why I have Spider-Man up there because he's red. But I couldn't imagine flipping teams like that. So Peyton was at Indianapolis for a long time. So he was a Colt for what,
11 years?
10 or 11 years. Yeah.
So
so that's a decade of being engrossed in a team. At that point, it's not just the quarterback that you like. You like the whole organization. They had Tony Dungy. I love Tony Dungy. They had some great players, and so just thinking about actually moving to a different team, like I just can't fathom that. That's the most foreign part to me.
Because they did him wrong.
I don't disagree.
And people liked Peyton Manning way better than they liked Jim Irsay if he was from down this way.
Well, I mean,
and again,
Irsay's not over
got a little narcotics problem. Doesn't surprise me. Piece of crap. No,
poor old Jim Irsay.
No.
He's done some great stuff for the NFL, though.
I don't care.
He really has.
I don't care.
I mean, we may not actually have the NFL as it is today without Jim Irsay. I will have to say about Irsay.
I'm gonna throw up.
But I mean, Al Davis did too.
Him or his daddy.
Yeah,
Maybe it was his daddy that set the stage.
yeah. I mean, that's
No,
fair.
I get it.
That's fair.
I get it.
That's
I get it
that's
from a business standpoint.
He has made some great decisions.
I know.
and
I get it. It's hard. I know some bad personnel decisions in terms of GM and all that. I mean, he made some bad picks.
He did.
Anyway,
He did.
Anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, likes his Percocets though.
A little bit.
Yeah, or he did. I guess he didn't.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully that's different.
Hopefully that's gone for his sake. But no. But again, picking the man over the team.
Yeah, that's
It was like I can remember when he signed with the Broncos. I mean, I was just on cloud nine because I still rooted for Denver. I'd always, I continued to root for Denver even after John Elway retired, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's gone to the Broncos.
Let me ask you this though, because this was well publicized.
Oh, I know.
He worked out for the 49ers.
Oh, I know he did. I know.
Him and Jimmy Harbaugh.
I'd have rooted for him for the 49ers.
And
yes.
I mean, you
as
talk
much as
about
I'm not a
somebody-
49er fan.
You talk about somebody that was excited when I'm like, Peyton's working out with we're going to the Super Bowl. And we would have. We were going anyway, and we would have won a Super Bowl.
I think you would have got one.
At least one, and maybe more.
Yeah.
But it was a clash between him
If
and
John
Harbaugh.
Fox hadn't been the coach of the Broncos, they probably would have got maybe more than one. I'll always believe that. And I like John Fox,
do
but
too.
he's just not. He just wasn't championship
It's
caliber.
passed him by.
Yeah, he just won championship caliber.
He's a better defensive guy anyway.
Right,
I
anyway,
think. But anyway, so I don't know if I ever got my answer there. It's very foreign to me. That's all. That's very foreign to me.
Well, and I think when you,
But-
again, it's people don't get it. People don't understand it because you didn't live it.
That's true.
Immersed in it.
That's true. That's true.
as we all did who were here, and then people surrounding. I mean, because again, you hear all the good stuff, and again, I know this guy's not perfect. I mean, you hear all kinds of stuff that goes on, but no DUIs. We didn't smack anybody. We're not freebasing cocaine. We're not
no stolen crab legs.
We're not right. No stolen crab. We're not. People aren't trashing us in our locker room. Nobody's ever trashed him.
He's not knocking every girl up.
Right.
Right.
Right. And it's like, hey, he makes his team wherever he's at, he makes them better.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that feel good story. And so if you were immersed in that as we were, you're just, like I said, UT fan base is very loyal. And so we're loyal to Peyton Manning because he's a Vol for life. And Jim Irsay can, go stick it. And so can the Colts. See it. So that's all I got to say. See it.
Oh, the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep. Missing out on my money. Just saying,
Right?
Just saying.
No swag coming your way.
No, I watched him. I went to Lucas Oil a couple times to watch him play while he was up there.
Yeah.
It's a nice town. I like Indianapolis.
Well,
But I ain't going up there spending money anymore.
that was a stadium.
I'll go up there if there's a Final Four that the Vols go to, or my Duke Blue Devils, if they make it back again, I will go. It's a nice stadium.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It looks nice.
It's very
the stadium Peyton built.
Yes.
The big old drum.
If they'll let me hop up on the statue, I might hug him.
As Chris Berman calls it, the big old drum.
That's it. It is the big old drum. And that's what built it. Yes, right. Exactly. Exactly. Anyway.
Transitioning away from Peyton Manning.
Jim Irsay.
One of my favorite quarterbacks, Peyton Manning. I love Peyton Manning. Just in case he listens to this, and
That's my man.
for some reason,
Never.
thinks-
I mean, yeah, I cried when he won his second Super Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, even though now he would have had a touchdown pass on that one deep route. He had a 9 route to Demarius, and they swept his feet out from under him.
Yeah.
he would have made it.
Yeah.
I wish that's my only wish, because he got a 2-point conversion, so he did actually throw. But if they hadn't swept his foot out from him, that would have been his TD pass in that Super Bowl for them to win.
Yeah.
And I'd have been okay with that.
That'd been a good way.
That would have made it, but it didn't matter because he still got to win.
That's true.
But that defense was just fierce.
It was.
But that's what they needed to win. So anyway, It's all good. It's all good. It was against the Patriots where he played awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and
he did.
Awesome. Take that, Tom.
I was happy.
Take that.
I was happy. Speaking of Tom Brady.
Good segue, right? You see how I set that up? Yes.
Speaking of Tom Brady.
OTB.
So
OTB or DS is you.
Yeah. I'll let you guys figure out what that means. Could mean a couple of things, actually. So the announcement was this week that Tom Brady was going to go to Fox after his NFL career. So if I haven't had to deal with Tom Brady enough over the past 20 years and see Tom Brady enough over the last 20 years, now he's going to be in the flipping broadcast booth. And he's going to call a 49ers game because, they do NFC. And
very lucrative
Fox
contract.
I just...
he'll be calling.
What do you think? I don't see.
I think that's part of why he did it.
I don't see
West Coast.
I don't see him being, an analyst though. I just don't see it. Like I think so. Here's what I'll say.
He doesn't seem to have the personality.
Does he have the football mind? I would.
Absolutely.
Of course he does. Okay?
Does he have the looks? Of course
he does. But it's just, there's a lot of people that have tried this that you would think would be good. Peyton Manning's one of those. I think that's why he hasn't done it, because all he would have to do is call up a network and say, "I'd like to be an analyst," and they're like, "We'll send a
we're going to fire whoever,
right?
Whoever's just now out of a
because
job."
he just that's not Manning's thing. It's just not.
That's why they do that fun thing being silly, which I know we've talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to mess up with the purity of broadcasting.
But no, that's
why he did that, because he's like, that's what I'd rather do.
So, and I could actually see Brady doing something along those lines. But this, I just don't, I just can't. And here's how this works. So you folks that don't know, here's some behind the scenes broadcasting stuff. Behind the scenes. VH1 behind the music. But backstage, they were falling apart. That's in every episode. But backstage, things were falling apart. So what happens is they pair you with somebody, right? So I don't know who he'll get paired with. Probably
that's actually something I was going to
probably
ask
Kevin Burkhardt is my guess. But he's their number 2, so he's going to be the number 1 now that their number 1 left.
Well, he better hope he steps up his game, or he'll be number 2 and be out the door.
So let's say it's Burkhardt. So he pairs with Kevin Burkhardt. What they will do when Brady finally decides that he's done with football for real and not just lie to everybody like he did last time, jackass, and got me all excited for nothing. Oh God, he's done. Good.
Didn't really. Yeah.
So when he's finally done with football, when he's 87 years old, so what'll happen is the season will end, and then sometime in the spring, like around now, they will pair those two together, and what they will do is they will put them in a booth and they will replay games
and have them call
the games. They'll kill the broadcast audio, and then they'll go back and listen. And you will do this for, I'm talking.
Did they do that with Jason Witten? Because I feel like because he didn't have a good run.
He didn't. And
do you think? And of course, that was ESPN.
Yeah.
Do you think they didn't do enough?
I don't think they did.
Dry run.
Either that, or at that point they were like, we're just gonna have to roll with it because what are we gonna do?
Well, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah. So
true.
But that's what you do. Like it happens in morning shows. With what's the country station here that I don't listen to?
107.7.
What's the calls?
100. WIVK.
Yeah, Wivik, right?
Wivik.
Yeah,
the frog.
So those guys that are doing the morning show now took over.
107.7.
What was it?
WIVK.
Jimbo and Andy or whatever. Who was doing
Andy
it?
and Ashley.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Andy and Ashley. But so when they left and these new guys,
That's right.
When these new guys got hired, they were hired and then they went through the same process.
I got you.
Even if you've worked together for a long time,
it's like you have to immerse.
You have to do that, and so you have to do that sort of stuff. So you don't just get that job and take over the next morning. It doesn't happen, and it's the same in television broadcasting, in particular in television broadcasting, and in particular in sports.
We didn't do that. We just kind of went with it.
Yeah, right.
Take that. Boom.
Right?
Right. Tough acting. See it.
But so like, and I mean, even the great, like I guarantee you right now, Herb Street and Al Michaels are working together because that chemistry.
I mean, that makes sense.
And the chemistry won't happen until you've actually done some real games anyway.
Right.
But you try to build up as much as you can beforehand.
Sure.
But they do it with talk shows, like, live with,
Well, and Rich Gannon was talking about this, about he ended up having to learn a lot on the job. And he was like, it's short bursts. It's little bites of info, and you've got to have the right timing of when to put it in. But it's got to be quality stuff that's quick, because you don't want to miss the next play.
Right.
But you still want to be, And I think that's where, I mean, obviously Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, excellent at that.
Absolutely.
Now, I think Jim Nantz could probably protect pretty much anybody on earth.
Al Michaels could too.
And Al Michaels as well. But I do think Tony Romo does a very good
excellent
job.
Chris Collinsworth
is excellent.
Madden was the gold standard because it's Madden.
Right.
Even though some of it was just gibberish, it was great.
Okay.
It was
That's
entertaining. Okay. And Madden truly loved football.
Right.
Chris Collinsworth truly loves football.
Right. And I think
Aikman
that comes out.
Yeah. And so
now Tom Brady truly loves football.
He truly loves football.
I will not question that.
But he's got the personality of a turd. And not just a fresh turd, like something that's been floating for a while. I mean, there's just no personality there whatsoever. I mean, he cannot.
There's a Bristol scale for what your stool is like. I should have brought a card so you could tell.
Oh, really?
Like 7 different levels. Number 4 is where you want to be.
It's like texture, color,
one's
smell.
like more on the diarrhea side. One's more on the constipation side.
Yeah.
Like 7's just like liquid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a few weeks ago. That was what was happening a few weeks ago.
One of them looks like a pickle. I'm not kidding. That might actually be number 4. One of them looks like
feels like that might be a
bar.
little rough coming out. It was hard to get that started.
My crap has VD. Why does it have these bumps on it? What is this? What is this going on? What's going on?
Do you still have blood in your stool? No, but there's a person in there.
Look at this. Look at this.
There's a finger.
God. Oh my God.
So I mean, but Brady I just don't see him having that personality. In this,
it doesn't seem like it. And a good example when Peyton's places, when they were at Jim Nance's house playing,
right.
I was like, this guy has no personality at all.
Now
maybe it'll come out. Maybe we just don't see it because maybe he's just that reserved. I mean, they say on the football field, I mean, he's very animated, but he's just good at hiding it. He's like one of the ultimate trash talkers, and just getting people fired up. And
I mean, like here's a good example of Joe Montana tried this too, and Montana didn't do it as from an analyst position, like doing the game, but he was doing the pregame show with on NBC, and he was terrible. Yeah. It was just flat awful. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, I get to see Joe. And I'm like, oh, Joe.
Stop, Joe. Stop. You're messing up your legacy. Right.
Joe, don't do this. And he did, and he quit because he was like, this isn't working. So,
yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that Jason Witten, same thing with him. Yeah. That's why he went back to playing football.
Yeah. He was like, this is just not for me.
He wasn't ready to be in the booth because he still wanted to play. And I think I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking, but that was.
I mean, I can tell you from doing that job at a very low level, high school level. Enjoyed it. Somebody reached out to me about a month ago and they said, "Hey man, why don't you play a clip from one of your games?" And I said, "What makes you think I have those recorded?" And they're like, "We know you have those recorded." Yes, I do. And so I might throw something in sometime. Me doing a touchdown call or something. Or when I used to do extra points or field goals.
We could do that as like the kickoff for football season.
We could. I had a little thing.
We got a couple months if you can sit tight.
I had a little
sit
thing.
tight, America.
I had a little thing I did for field goals and extra points. Right. This is how I would call it.
No, don't.
You don't want me to do it?
Do you have a clip of it?
Not.
Oh, okay.
I've got plenty of clips of it.
But finding it. Okay, go ahead and break it down. No, I want to hear it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I didn't know if you wanted to save it for football season.
Oh no, I don't care.
Okay.
I stole it anyway. I stole it from Mac McDonald. Mac, thank you, buddy.
It's okay.
I know
okay.
Mac.
That's not copyrighted.
No, Mac. I told Mac I stole it, and he's like, I don't care. He used to do University of Virginia football. Mac McDonald.
Gotcha.
Great broadcast. He's got some podcasts out there. Listen to Mac McDonald. Not many better football minds other than Mac McDonald. Great guy. But anyway, so I used to do the thing where they're set up, and you would say you would always say like from what yard line it's from or whatever, like from 29-yard line or whatever. I would say snap back ball down, kick on the way, and then it was good or bad, or it was no good or good. Good was just the good. And the no good was no good, and then you do like wide left, right, too short, terrible kick,
too short.
And if it was bad and it like went like the other way, I would say no good all the way to Oklahoma. That's where that ball will land. So yeah, I had a couple of little sayings that I would throw out there.
But my favorite Vol one was back when we really had good defense, and they would say third and the river.
Right?
Like in the actual game,
Oh, yeah.
like on the PA system, that the announcer would say that. I was like, that's awesome.
Mine was always third and a mile, or third and I can't do the math. It's just too much for me to add up. Or third and eternity, and then another one. What was it? Third and another area, or another zip code.
Another zip code. I like that.
Third and another zip code, or third from the town over.
Love it.
But so it's not an easy job. It's very fun. I don't want anybody to think it's hard work per se.
So basically, what you're really saying is you're kind of looking forward to him falling on his face doing this.
I think he will.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just think he will.
And are you're going to take just a pinch,
more than that.
just a
More
pinch
than
of happiness in the shortcomings of that. I don't think it's going to go well.
I don't either, and I think
Unless they get somebody else to come on to Fox.
Unless they get a
Kevin
superstar.
Burkhardt's not the guy for not for that. That's not going to rescue it. I hate to say that.
Yeah,
It's that's not going to do it.
I don't think so either.
Something-
Losing Joe Buck was rough.
If it's the two of them,
and
doesn't that make you wonder if maybe Joe Buck knew that was coming and he's like, I ain't working with that guy. The undertone,
maybe
because that's who they would have stuck him with, right?
that's who he'd have been with.
Ooh, maybe there's some conspiracy there on top of
Maybe.
everything. Of course, also they paid him a bunch of money, and
I'll
you get to keep calling with the same guy you've been doing with for like 2 decades. Why would you not do that?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they put Erin Andrews in the booth to be an analyst.
I think she'd do a great job.
I think she would too. I think she's great.
Maybe that's what they'll do.
Number one, I like looking at her. Number two, no, I mean, come on. And number two, I do.
We were doing so good.
Come on, you're thinking it too. You're like, oh yeah, Erin Andrews. But I mean, she's very knowledgeable about football. She's
I know,
very good.
man.
And
I think I actually hit the metal. I think I might knock myself silly. I'm teasing.
You get a concussion.
I'm like, what's happening?
Hey man, this Shure SM7B is solid.
That's right. The Shure
Solid.
SM7B, baby.
But I think she'd be good. I think she'd be good. I think there's some other folks out there I think that would be good.
Well, didn't she leave ESPN because like they weren't really allowing her more latitude to do what she does very well?
Wasn't
there something about that? I don't remember. But
there was a lot going on.
I thought there was like creative differences.
I also
Seriously.
think too she wasn't overly happy that ESPN, and I read this, if it's true I don't know, but apparently because she went through the whole ordeal with the guy drilling the hole.
Right.
And she went through that whole thing.
Peeping Tom.
And I think that because she was still doing college football at that time.
She was.
And I want to say that I read that ESPN wasn't very supportive in the fact that she was having a lot of anxiety because, of course, she was. She was in a stadium with 89,000 people who had all seen the same pictures and were
Seen her naked.
Yeah, right. And she's trying
she's
trying to be
did something
professional.
super illegal.
Yeah. So
And all they're focused on is her naked.
and then she has ovarian cancer.
I know, God.
Like she's been through a lot and she's tougher than nails, and again, she is talented, and when you look like that, also you can.
Well, it's kind of, right. So, number one.
but there is talent there.
Well, and like we talked about, you kind of have to have the look. Tom Brady's a good looking guy.
He is.
Tony Romo's a good looking guy. Jim Nance is a good looking guy.
I was a good looking guy. That's how I got the job.
So, you do have to have, and so, so brilliant football mind. I think she could definitely, she could probably rescue Tom if he got in trouble. I'm serious. I think she could do it.
But
and then you have to have a good look for TV. That's why we're on the radio. That's why I'm amazed people are watching this on YouTube.
Tom just comes off as just super douchey. He just does. Like you just get this almost pretentious kind of, and he's married to this supermodel, and like he talks about like, here's how you can tell if someone what's the term we're using now? Bougie. That's the last
Bougie
time
like
I will ever say that
Applebee's
word.
on a steak on a date night.
The first time and
Bourbon
last time
Street
I will ever
steak
use
and
that
the
word.
Oreo shake. That's my. I did that 2 episodes ago. Remember? And you were over it after that.
Yes.
Hey, it wasn't my fault. You brought it back. Yeah, bougie.
But so you can always tell if somebody is at that level when they talk about what they eat. You know? And here's what
I ate this plant-based filet mignon the other
Right?
day, and it was delicious.
It's grass-fed cows from Mars that we have shipped here. I mean, it's just this.
It's the red dirt.
You know,
That's what it is.
and he's got people that come and cook for him.
I know.
You know,
Now, I would like that. I would love to do that. Hey, who's a better cook, you or Lindsay?
Oh, me, 100%.
Okay, there you go.
No,
Boom.
she's
Take
she's
that,
she's
Lindsay.
out of her mind.
Take that, Lindsay.
She's out of her mind.
Heard a rumor it might be the other way. Anyway, my ADD kicked.
She's
so.
hit her head and
Got you.
somehow thinks she's a better cook than me.
Wounded.
That's
Got you.
ridiculous.
Sleep deprived.
Maybe I'll just go on strike and not cook. So when we have the
see-
party
and see
today,
what
say,
right, see what
I'm
happens.
not cooking.
What am I doing?
But so I think that that's going to come across. Like you cannot hide your personality on air.
True.
You can do it for a while, but you cannot do it consistently. You can't do it.
True.
And so at some point, you know, if you know, here's a good example of Terry Bradshaw. When Bradshaw started broadcasting, he really tried to be professional Terry, and it didn't last. It lasts like 10 minutes.
Right.
And then he's just good old boy Terry, and that's who we love.
Right. And I was saying, but that's what everybody loves.
Right.
Same thing with Peyton.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just they're just making fun of people, playing jokes, you know,
Yep.
doing things, and people love it. It's the same thing. But he doesn't want to be a broadcaster because he can't get serious enough
Right.
to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, hey, he may be the Broncos owner.
He might very well be.
Or part owner. Anyway. But no, I agree. I mean, Tom Brady just seems he's, you know, I know you're not going to agree with this. I'm going to give him the GOAT. I know. But
Let's say this. Let's say he's the GOAT for like the last 15 years. Outside of that.
It's hard too because
Let me tell you something. If he'd have played against some of the defenses that Joe played against,
well, sure,
he would have been.
It was a
broken in
different.
half.
Well, no, it was a different day. A different day. Same thing in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
Steph Curry, you'd never got a shot off.
No.
But between Jordan and Pippen, Klay Thompson
Oh.
and Steph Curry would have gotten like minimal. And Draymond, don't even try it. Somebody would have just
Rodman would have
murdered you.
Rodman would have
under the basket and been like, "You want to get up and do something with your
the league
Smile Direct Club? We about to knock your teeth out.
The
We about to
league
get
is
your
went a little
teeth realigned."
soft.
Agreed.
It's went a
Agreed.
little soft.
Agreed. I mean, Draymond would have been nothing, and now he's like this. What he would have been nothing.
No, you're right, 100%.
I mean, Lame Beer would have fouled him one time.
Karl Malone
and
would have destroyed
Karl
him.
Malone would have killed him. Yeah, no, none of that.
Charles Barkley.
It
would have body
like, really,
slammed him.
really, you want to go up against Barkley? Shaq.
Right.
Shaq had sent him 1,700 rows into any Oracle Arena. Anyway, I don't even want to hear it. Anyway, sorry.
Jordan would have took it personal.
Yeah.
Like he did everything.
Right. He'd have made something up to get mad over.
He would have.
You know, anyway, that's so, anyway. So the point being, I agree. I think his personality is dry at baseline. I think that's going to come out. Obviously, he loves football, so you're going to see that. But it's just not. I don't think it's going to carry over well to the broadcast side of things.
And it hurts Erin Andrews' career as well because she's worked with Buck and Aikman all these years.
Right.
She's staying with Fox,
Right.
So she's going to get stuck with one of these
For now.
Yeah, she's going to get stuck with one of these guys.
When's her contract up? Do you know?
I don't know.
I bet you.
That is somebody I would absolutely love to interview.
I
Erin
bet.
Andrews. I would love to interview Erin Andrews.
I bet that. Well, she'll have when her contract is up. If they don't make it worth her while, I mean, she'll be able to go wherever she wants to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Oh yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
I wondered if
She
she
just-
would end up at NBC since Michelle Tafoya left, and she could work with Collinsworth, who she's worked with before.
Right.
So
right. That's a possibility.
because that's going to be a solid team too with Tirico and
Right.
Collinsworth.
I think
so.
yeah, they'll be good. They it's
Maybe
still-
Gruden will come
it's
back.
Still,
Johnny,
I
still love you, Johnny.
I think he's Dunsky's.
I think so too.
I
What a
mean-
great football mind.
I mean,
that's
just you can't do
no,
just can't do
just
stupid.
You
stupid
can't be
stuff.
stupid.
Yeah, that's
You can't be stupid.
I hate to say it. That's it.
I used to tell Steven, I'm like, buddy, I've really only got one rule, okay, or two rules. One was don't do stupid stuff and don't crack your skull because I can't fix that. That's hard to fix. A cracked skull is hard to
Very
fix.
much so.
You know,
Very much.
Or it seems like I'm not a doctor, but it seems like that would be difficult.
Yeah. Brain damage is bad.
I could have fought better, Howard.
Dang.
Oh.
Right.
I mean, you talk about a sport that I mean, I don't know how these guys get. It's amazing to me. Like to listen to Lennox Lewis now, I'm like, I'm glad he got out when he did because some of these guys do not sound good. I mean, you could pop
That's
in
the
the
thing.
head. I mean,
and that's the thing where people would give, Floyd Mayweather a little bit of flack, but he fought so smart. He doesn't have quite the beat down like these other guys because his whole game
He was a defensive
was
fighter.
avoid getting hit. I'm like, this is very smart.
it's so the rule in boxing was always any fool can hit. Making the other guy miss takes skill.
Right.
And that's
right.
And Mayweather said, I have 3 hands. I have a shoulder too. And that's what he does.
Just absorb it. That's it. Anyway.
So anyway.
Yeah, TBDS, it's not gonna transfer.
I don't think so.
And I bet Aaron Rodgers relocates
I'm
for her next contract.
well, I mean
Aaron Andrews. I said
Aaron Andrews. Yeah, I knew who you meant.
Aaron Rodgers.
he was almost a Niner again, but
Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, for Aaron Andrews or
And
as
Devontae.
or as Joe Buck calls her EA. So I like calling
EA.
her. I like calling her.
That's kinda cool. That's kinda
I don't know her, and her husband is massive and would kill me. But I'm going to call her EA. But I hope she ends up somewhere where it's not.
She can go. She can be able to go wherever she wants.
She can
Seriously.
She can. She can do anything she wants.
And that's why you see her staying power because she is that good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Brilliant football mind, just,
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why you see these other people kind of, and she doesn't.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's just my opinion. Anyway,
Maybe she'll choke Tom Brady on air.
that would be hilarious.
It's a great broadcast.
That would be
there.
hilarious.
It'd be the greatest day in television history. Tom Brady gets taken down by EA.
By EA,
I think she might be able to take him. I think she's tough.
it's kind of like Chelsea.
Yeah, it is. It's yeah.
I had to throw that in there because we hadn't mentioned her the whole episode.
That's
and
right.
Usually, we have to work that in at least once.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there
Yeah,
you go.
but yeah, very
Right.
very tough for sure.
Right. That's it. That's it.
We've got a couple other things, but we are at an hour and a half. So
You dropped the Peyton thing on me, man, and
I know.
Jim Irsay.
I know.
I'm looking right at you, man. Looking right at you. How'd that work out for you? How many rings you got? Just saying.
Right?
Just saying.
He should have had 2 rings.
Stupid Hank Basket.
Yep.
Catch him. Gah. Anyway. We're done for this round, folks.
That's it.
We're done.
We'll try not to
Thank
talk
you.
about Peyton
Thank
Manning
you.
next
That's
week.
Right. That's right, because lest that'd be another hour of the broadcast.
That's true. It's true. Hey, listen to us if you would,
Please.
on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, Overcast, and also you can watch the broadcast on YouTube.
You can see my facial expressions.
That's
Boom.
true. That's true. You can, and you can watch the broadcast. Please subscribe, for God's sakes.
Please.
Help me out here.
989 more.
Right, it's all we need.
That's it. We're
if you
getting
do
close.
if you do go to the website and want to drop us a line, there's a little thing you can click contact, and it's super easy. It comes right to us. So,
Taking requests now.
taking requests now.
Thank you, Europe.
That's right.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye.